Hi guys, this is a little bit of a surprise, but I'm using my real voice for this video. But I know I haven't posted in a long time as well, but after watching Pure Harmony's latest song, I just really felt the need to make this video. So it's a little bit random and I haven't posted in a long time, and this is my first video with my voice, but I just felt the need to really make this video. So the first thing I want to talk about was Seoul's lines sort of like decreasing or getting like a little bit worse as time goes on. He always had a shorter amount of lines in the title track. This is definitely the worst lines he's had in their newest comeback, but in the previous title tracks it was not as great, but it wasn't horrible. But at least we got to hear him in the B-sides, and it was a small amount, but we still heard him like a good amount, I would say. But it feels like this B-side or this album, I feel like we barely heard him in the B-sides, and the title track, don't get me started, I'll talk about that later on. But I just feel like we didn't hear him as much as we used to in this album for the B-sides. And with their newest comeback, I feel like this is definitely the least amount of lines he has ever had in their songs or like their albums so far. At first I was satisfied because at least he was getting some lines in the title track. But then this title track, his lines were, oh my God, they were bad. So basically, half of his lines were just like ad-libs, and they were parts that you wouldn't even notice. Like when you're listening to the song, you don't even notice that they're there because it's like one word. It's like he just repeated like one word in the song. You wouldn't even notice those lines unless you watch the line distribution. And then another one of his lines was just like the very end of the chorus. I'll play his lines now. Those parts did not highlight Seoul at all because no one is going to memorize the one word he said in the pre-chorus or whatever, and the thing that I don't understand is that especially this song does not have hard vocals. And I counted, and Kiho said the chorus like I think it was 3 or 4 times, and Theo said it I think it was 2 times. And the thing that I don't understand is that the chorus is literally not even a language. Like some people are saying he's not getting lines because he's not fluent in Korean. I'll get into that a little bit more later on, but the thing about this chorus is it's not even words. It's literally like, it's not words, it's not a language, and you're telling me he couldn't have said that chorus at least once. I'll play the chorus. This would have been a perfect time for him to get lines. The chorus doesn't involve hard vocals. It doesn't involve a lot of like singing or Korean. So it would have been very easy for him to have this part, but instead they just decided not to give him that part. Anyways, the point in this section is I'm just trying to say that I feel like over time his lines have been getting a little bit worse. I'll also do a compilation of his lines in this whole album. Don't worry, nobody, 너만이 이곳에 나만 널 채워줄 수 있어. Let me be your yes man, oh yes man, man, man. Yeah, 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 yeah. You, yeah, 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 yeah. You know, yeah, 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 yeah. 달려. 있는 vibe 원해. 네가 할 수 있다는 건 난 믿어. 있는 vibe 원해. 네가 할 수 있다는 건 난 믿어. Which, as you can see, does not amount to a lot, so that is definitely very disappointing. And I want to be able to listen to Pure Harmony's album and hear my bias sing, or he's supposed to be a rapper, and this guy has never rapped once in their music. Like, it's just weird. I also wanted to talk about his screen time. I did, after watching the music video, I was like, where is Seoul? Like, I caught him like getting focused on the camera like maybe like once, and then that was it. Like, he really did not get the screen time that he deserved. Like, I'll put this screen time distribution on the screen. But as you can see, there is a big difference, and I feel like I just did not see him. And I know that he didn't have a lot of lines, so, you know, he can't get a lot of screen time, but I feel like they really could have showed him a little bit more, like, here and there. Like, you know, he just like was barely even seen. Like, it just doesn't even feel like he's a part of the music videos or like the album at this point. I know he gets highlighted in their performances, but not everyone is going to watch their performances. Some people just want to check out the music video, and what are people going to say when they're like, where's Soul? So the next section is the rumors that I have been hearing about Soul. If you go on like any live distribution from a few months ago when the songs are like a little bit older and there's more comments, you'll see when people comment about Soul not getting lines, people will always reply with like, oh, Soul's not fluent in Korean, so that's why he's not getting a lot of lines. Or Soul asked for no lines, or he said he's not comfortable with no lines. And I realized later on that I never mentioned this, but Soul never publicly said himself that he does not want lines or that like he doesn't feel comfortable getting lines. People are just assuming that because it's not his first language, but I just wanted to make that clear that Soul has never publicly said that. So people are kind of just making up stuff to like justify him not getting lines because he has never said this himself. I'll talk about the first thing first. So the first thing about him not being fluent in Korean. I understand that, you know, singing in Korean is way different than talking in Korean, because he can talk in Korean pretty fine. Like, he does it pretty fluently. He can communicate with his members. He can talk to fans. Like, he can communicate in Korean. So that's not a problem. But people are saying that singing and talking in Korean are two very different things. But you guys have to understand that Soul is in a K-pop group. You know, the point is that he sing, rap, and dances, you know, like he doesn't just do one thing and not the other ones. Like, he is in a K-pop group. He's supposed to sing or rap in their music. You know, like he needs to be singing and getting lines in their music, because that's the whole point of being in a K-pop group, is that you do that as well. So even though he might not be 100% comfortable, do you guys really think it would make sense for FNC to debut him if they really thought he couldn't sing in Korean and he's not going to improve and it just doesn't sound good when he sings in Korean or stuff? Like, it just wouldn't make sense for an entertainment company to debut someone that they didn't think could, you know, sing in Korean, when there are, like, FNC is not a small company. There are so many trainees under FNC that are probably fluent in Korean. Why would they debut someone that cannot sing in Korean? And even if that were the case, when they're given lines, it's not like they're just told, okay, so go sing, go record the song, and then go perform. Obviously, they get time to practice, they get time to memorize their lines, they get time to do whatever they need, and Seoul has 5 other members that are fully fluent in Korean, so if they ever needed, or if he ever needed help, you know, with lines or pronunciation, he has his members to help him with, you know, his pronunciation, so it just wouldn't make sense. We have heard him sing, and he is a good singer. So I don't understand why they would tease us with that reset bridge and then be like, nah, now you're not gonna get anything. Like, anyways, so that's the end of this video. It was more of like a rant, I guess, but you know, I just want what's best for Soul, and I know that he's capable of more than he's being given. And you know, the reasons that people are giving for him not getting lines is just not reasonable. It just doesn't make sense, and it's just not fair to Soul. And I just want what's best for him, and I'm really hoping that in the future it can get better. But thank you for watching this video, and I hope what I said made sense, and see you guys in the next video.